Hello everyone, this is Cycle of 11 here, and we are streaming. Apologize. Why did I start when I said it right? Apologize, Ace Attorney, and we're streaming Dual Destinies, the first trial of the second episode. Okay, let's just get right into it because I can't do intros anymore. I just stumble on my words and I sound like a clown. Which is perfect because I'm going to be sounding like a clown for a majority of the characters. Let's turn up the volume a little bit. Actually, it's fine as it is. Wait, let me see if I can. Let me hear myself on this bloody stream to make sure I sound right because last time. Okay, I sound fine. Thank God. But I need to keep an eye on it because if I start going stuttery and glitchy, it's not good. Okay. You okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all. Yeah, a real ball of excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Athena! Eh? Didn't you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? I'm just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trial. Oh my god, I can't read. Relieve your pre-trial jitters. By scaring the daylights out of me? No, I find that shouting "I'm fine" in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my core steel voice workout and a must before every trial. You want me to shout here? That's right, here. I'll go first and you try it. Great, I'm going to lose my voice before the stream's even started. I'm a part of justice and I'm fine! Alright, I'm Athena Sykes. And I'm fine! I think that actually worked. Thought it might help. Always works for me. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. I see. A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. What's up all the racket, you two? Ah, Mr. Wright. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. That's all? That's huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. But we can talk about that another time. No fair. Inquiring minds wants to know. But wow. Look at him! I wish we had this as a costume, but no, they robbed us. We're so used to him in his usual laid-back clothes. Look at him! This is perfect. This is what should have been, and this is what we get. No, I'm joking, he's still good, but come on. His suit makes him look like $1 million. Does. Why has he's got like a bag under his eye? Poor guy, he's stressed. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? Yeah, he's serving time. But before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology. That's right. I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. I read that wrong, but it's fine. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart. I hate that word. I don't know how to pronounce it. Stalwart. Okay. Defendants confess. Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prisoner inmate and all. So they say. They'll also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. Ah! I knew he was going to be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is. Yikes! Better tone down my cores of steel too. So are you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. Right, Mr. Wright. But I'm fine! I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks! Okay, let's do this! The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client. Seek the truth. That's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. Here comes And here comes Prosecutor Blackwell. Oh my god, I'm excited. Silence! My voice is already sore, like I can't be doing these streams.
Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma.
Like this. Oh, we got to see him in his costume. I like it. Oh, he's got little face. Isn't that Athena's? I don't know what that is. I don't know why I associate that with Athena. Kind of looks like Widget. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. Honor. I'm trying to do a little bit of an American accent with Apollo, but it's not the best.
I'd know that big booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, Mr. Justice. But who's the young lady next to you?
I'm Athena Sykes. I'm Mr. Justice's junior partner, and I'm fresh out of law school.
Well now, for the beans too, eh? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. Now for a prosecution. There is none. Here's the prosecution is not ready yet. Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? Oh, yes, of course. I almost forgot all about that. He was currently serving time.
Time for epic cutscene.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackwell's an inmate.
Everybody just kills everyone in these games.
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
Since when? Since when? He needs to get those bags under his eyes sorted out. I love him. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackwell.
Him. Is the prosecution ready?
Enough jabbering. Get on with it already.
Of course, forgive me.
Ugh, why are all the people related to this case so scary?
Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your opening statement, please. What's the matter?
Must we continue to fritter away time like this? It is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless.
Pointless? Well...
Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue.
But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand.
Well then, boldness. And if it's so very important, why don't you do the honors?
Who, me?
There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once theirs. Selfish old fool.
Huh?
Oh shit, that's not his voice.
Huh?
Wait! Was that the prosecution's opening statement?
Oh, dotards, such as you are a plague upon the young. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren?
That's really rude.
All these years I thought opening statements were the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I can give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace.
What? He actually fell for that? That must have been the power suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about.
The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Covey, alderman of Ninetails Vale. The defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder.
And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested?
His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. The caretaker and the secretary, other potential suspects, both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive.
So in a nutshell,
I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible.
bravo your boldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere.
He's playing Simon Says with the judge.
Moving right along now, let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
I am detective assigned to this case, Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackwell here.
I also heard you provided protection if it ever came to that.
It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what?
Still, I truly believe anyone who can turn their life around, even Prosecutor Blackwell here.
Fulbright, save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement.
Ha ha ha! That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you.
Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackwell. He's so oblivious.
Now let's hear your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it, but first I'd like to say, it's a defense that justice will ultimately prevail.
That's funny, because I am Justice.
Apollo Justice. Alderman Kyobe was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Temmer, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Kyobe was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Temmer attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back.
Alderman Kyobe had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug?
That's right. The accused were scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear. That sounds almost superhuman. Is this even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler, after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him.
Objection!
Not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying that Alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in a clink. I don't know. Still sounds kind of far-fetched. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. I didn't sign up for this. And so your life is spared. For now. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die.
Haha! My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof. Or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest.
The accused prince ruined a weapon, and he's the one without a person without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence. Wouldn't you agree, your boldness?
The defense is sounding guilty about a minute.
He has the judge leaning towards a guilty verdict, and the trial's just barely begun. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Temotaro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards bug. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the old.
Mayor's a stranger, alright?
Oh, that's a man.
I heard he went to the blood drive and he tried to make a withdrawal.
What the fuck?
Order, there'll be no gossiping in my court.
Your boldness. Please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenmataro. Then again, perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold, the lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment.
Eep.
Hold it!
Rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement, I think.
Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they?
The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Phew, thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo, he has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impressions to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news.
In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself, despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker?
Sorry, that was a bit of an inappropriate sound.
None other than this statue right here! It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle.
Two yokai, to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, and on the other, Tenmataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Right, let's see. Something about something he said is suspicious. But it has to be, otherwise this case would be over. I should have actually checked this because I don't remember. It's been a while. Cause of death stabbed with a spear. It doesn't say if it was immediate or not, that's great. TV program, agency statement, that, crime photo. Fox. Mayor's blood was found on it, but no prints. Fingerprints of the defendant, Tenma, were found on the murderer. At the time, Alderman Kyobi was asleep. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shooting barb. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back. But there's no prints on the statue.
Objection!
Okay, cool. Did the alderman really strike the mayor?
What? Are you questioning my sense of justice?
Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him, but the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory.
It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective statue theory.
There's no fingerprints. Crazy bitches. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves.
Yes, I believe he's quite gloveless indeed.
If he touched that statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you?
Ah! This can't be happening! Did I arrest the wrong man?
And Blackwood, you did it, Apollo! He's innocent! You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse! Well, it's just 1 point in our favour. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox Chamber? Exactly, and this could be the big break we've been looking for.
It does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defence's assertion?
I love that he puts his back to people. He's like, oh, for God's sake. The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Oh, hello. My voice is... Can you hear my voice? It's quite sore, isn't it? Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. Blackwell like me, for real. What, just like rude, puts your back to people, aggressive, a bit emo, bags under your eyes. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that bloodstained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Own your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve the riddle and you shall see. The hole you thought was found is but an illusion. Now, let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used... Did it wrap the statue? Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Ah! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Ah, it was nothing. Apollo! Don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did. I did! Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Oops. Ah! Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly held his blade before he went to work, like the samurai of yore.
Samurai? That sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me.
Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef?
It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all.
I was kind of attached to that hole. Now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left fingerprints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. It's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer then. What evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, all right. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks allegedly from a yokai found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue.
Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed the alderman?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Objection!
No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Ah! Sorry. Guess I got a bit carried away.
Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense.
Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch. You mean me? I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright.
So, is the court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it?
No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman.
Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that?
Why indeed?
Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is.
Ouch. This I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Boy, Fulbright, explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and the why behind those feathers and tracks.
What?
You mean you can explain all that?
Ha ha ha! Our investigative prowess is without equal.
I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession.
Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks.
My voice is going.
This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters, so he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears?
Absolutely, he knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds.
Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Temataro, that is.
Tenma who?
Temataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black feathered demon. And thus, were they blinded to other more plausible explanations.
Hold it!
Hold on for a second, before we start letting our imaginations run wild. Isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect?
Mr. Justice, please explain yourself.
On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at Kyubi Manor. And, as a part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Temataro. Obviously, the person is much more likely to suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection!
Dullard, you are playing right in the killer's mind games. Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Temataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Temataro suit is the killer. Ah! The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman, and thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed by the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
The evidence speaks for itself, Fulbright.
Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and a hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. What do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds.
Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words to me. Innocent of heart are the easiest prey.
You don't say. Was the inmate a con artist?
No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Hello, Ice! Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. How are you doing? Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey?
Yes, well. Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination.
How are your chickens? Okay, let's see. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to push. I feel like I need to be pressing something because I don't know what evidence I have that actually relates to anything he's saying. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales something. Helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
Hold it!
Press? I don't know. But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? Murder?
What do you mean?
You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why stop there? Why murder Alderman Kyubi?
Excellent point.
It is, isn't it? So your honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. Been pretty rough. I got sick Friday and I had to go to the local urgent care yesterday because I wasn't getting any better. Turns out I had a stomach bug. Oh no, that's terrible! Are you doing better now? The chickens are well. Okay. That's good to hear. But are you doing better? Are you like recovering? Have you been like given medication for the stomach bug? Stomach bug, bronchitis, and pneumonia. Girl, you just want everything, don't you? I hope you're doing okay though. It's good to hear from you. From the outset, I already read that. Yes, the medicine they gave me helping out. Oh, that's good to hear. Hopefully it's just a matter of time and then you start feeling back to normal. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? I do not like the sound of that. Alderman Kyubi's secret identity. Apollo! I think Prosecutor Blackwell's figured out the Alderman's secret identity. I mean, he just said that, Athena. But even if he has, why would it be motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by Amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Yeah, you've met my favourite prosecutor. I have met your favourite prosecutor. I thought it was Clavier. Oh, you like Blackwell and then Clavier second? Or maybe that's just my bad memory. I know you liked Clavier, but I thought you liked him more than Blackwell. But yeah, I love Blackwell. Is he my favourite prosecutor? He's up there for sure. I like him more than Clavier personally. I think he's probably my second favourite. Oh, okay. Okay, so you like both, but this one's better. Okay, cool. No, I think for me it's Miles, then Francisca, then Blackwell. Like Blackwell and Francisca are like quite similar, on similar levels for me in terms of how much I like them. But I like a lot of them, so I don't know. I do like Francisca though. What was I saying? I already said that, I think.
Oh my, but why would it have been there?
Francisca's my favorite. Yeah, we have similar opinions. I love it. The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. She is. That's why I love her. A Miss. Oh. Sorry, hang on. Oh, I missed it. Did I already say this? Wait, go back. Did I say that? I don't think I did. The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? My voice is breaking.
Well, could it really be?
She has me laughing in case she's amazing. I love her character. Your boldness has an epiphany. I see. Our victim, stuttering my words. Our victim, Rex Kyubi, was the Amazing Ninetales. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. No! Have you played Investigations? I have. I played both of them actually. Played the fan translation. of the second one because it's only in Japanese. But I played the fan translation of the second game as well. Really good games. I love playing as Edgeworth. He's my favourite. Besides Phoenix.
Order! Order! What a shocking development. A motive clearer and crystal clear.
What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they tied the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. Am I misunderstanding something? What's that got to do with anything? Our victim was the amazing Ninetales and the mayor's discovery. What? But what's that got to do with it? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. What's the rest of... I don't understand. Oh, he's about to say it. Because I wasn't understanding it. Like, what's it got to do with anything? At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? That wasn't the point I was hoping you'd make. Does it not pique your interest, your boldness?
I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona. Just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement.
Very astute of you, your boldness.
Right, now take a look at this.
Oh, they've got it all wrong. I get it. I remember this case again now.
If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Temma Town. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Kyubi's pocket.
What?
At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital, and that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life.
Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Temma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it into the Alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. Yeah, that's so annoying.
Mayor Temma would have made a clean getaway if he'd just left after planning the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetales. So, the amazing Ninetales counterattack that brought the entire crime to light.
Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the Alderman after planting the yokai evidence, and that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? That's bullshit. Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to the testimony. Mayor Temma killed the sleeping Alderman after planting the feathers and tracks. Yeah, that makes no sense. Because how's there blood footprints then? Like, how did he do that? Don't fucking lie. You lying bastard. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair.
What's this? You dare question my sense of justice again?
Yes, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Take a look at this photo.
This is the crime scene photo. Just what does this prove?
It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted.
But I already told you they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence.
Then one was knocked out while killing the victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene.
Take that!
Because they were in blood.
Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice?
Yes, see how the feathers are on top of the blood and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence couldn't only have resulted after the murder.
Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the Alderman.
But you said it yourself, the mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the Alderman at the crime scene.
Ah! There must be some mistake! Order! Order! Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Ha 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 ha!
Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you. You do? But how? Oh. Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this really hard.
Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have?
I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Temma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Temma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon Temmataro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. Go Apollo, he's like, ta-da! And everyone's just like, Somebody please say something?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means.
You dare mock the court and justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy!
Your baldness. It appears our defense attorney is delirious from exhaustion.
Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out.
Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears. But you had better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about?
It's all in a statement here. Jinxie Temma asserts that she saw Temmataro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around the corner in the hall. It was around here. And she saw Temmataro fleeing towards the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise.
What? How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before?
The defense just proved that there was someone else.
So the mayor isn't the killer?
It's all set up. The prosecutor is convicted felon after all.
Apollo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Good, now let's keep it that way.
Objection!
Little do you realize that though you're in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken.
My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim?
Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled towards the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him.
Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and the Bell? Now that you mention it.
Both Phineas Filch and Florence LaBelle were in the foyer at the time. But they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination?
Ugh, why didn't those two see that Temmataro impersonator pass by? Why don't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of Kyubi Manor, to the stand. I just know he had to have seen something.
I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice request, Prosecutor Blackquill. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will.
Did he just say captured? Oh, wait. I don't want to know.
Very well then. Bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand.
Oh, Lord.
Will the witness state his name and occupation, please? Name is Filch, Phineas Filch, caretaker of Kyubi Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like. Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes. And your honour will do just fine, Mr. Filch.
Ah, it's these shoes again. Don't they belong to the Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again.
They're all yours, your honourship, sir. What? They seem awfully expensive.
Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like you. You're on a ship.
It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts.
Ah, ethics schmethics. Just take them if you want them. Polished up real nice for you too.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch.
Oh shit, that's not his voice.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Temmataro in the foyer after the murder.
At the time of murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. Kubi asked. I was making sure no unfair, foul, fishy or otherwise could get to our guest. I was still in the office, keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no siree. The yokai you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dreams. So you're telling the court you never saw anyone dressed up like Temmataro?
Yep, was guiding the whole time. That's the truth, the holy truth, nothing but the truth.
And Temmataro, bah! You don't really believe in all that yokai mumbo-jumbo, do ya? I certainly don't. My bracelet. It's reacting! Okay, back. Sorry, I had to take my mind. That's okay, it's no problem. I don't know if you heard the answer to the previous question that you asked, but yes, I've played both investigations games. Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. I don't know why it's doing it. Really? So you think Mr. Taluki, Mr. Filch has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. What are you talking about? You know that's what the purpose of your bracelet is. Now, if I could just zero in on a tell. Some sort of nervous habit. Ah! What in the... What's a heart doing in here? Nice. In my opinion, Francisca is at her best in Investigations 1. Yeah, because she's doing like all that like undercover stuff, isn't she? She's pretty cool. But she's less abusive. Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Tucker. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you, in jail. Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Tucker simply loathes trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick or... Ah! I won't be able to spot squat like this. What the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills!
No pets or other animals allowed in the courtroom.
Not to mention whippity whip trip. I'm just... Did we not end up using the bracelet here then? Because I don't actually remember using it on this character.
Ah, somebody help!
Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished.
In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed.
Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way.
We'll be fine, I think. If there was someone dressed as Temmataro there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now.
Mr. Justice, please proceed for cross-examination.
Great. I don't like this character, but, Look at his nose, like, what? What is that? Is it supposed to, like, it does make him look like a tanuki. And the eye bags make him look like a tanuki as well. Alright, it's something about this, I reckon. 3 o'clock. So he was watching the show. Present the...
Objection!
Okay, cool. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch.
Hey, ain't right to bushwhack a fella like that.
Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss.
Ah! I didn't watch that one, no siree. I was
doing my job like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right?
Yipes!
Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster."
Ugh.
So, do you admit to slacking off?
You can't trick me with your Rudy Poo. Lawyer talk. I'm one of them professional types too. I can do double duty watching TV and the foyer at the same time.
The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is a professional thief.
Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe the witness was slacking off.
That's correct. He claims to have been watching the TV and at the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bold-faced lie.
Bold, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness. Mr. Justice, and in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it.
What? How do you prove that? That he's lying about watching both? Oh. Because the TV's facing the wall. So we can't... the foyer.
Take that!
Okay. Please take a look at this direction that the TV's facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I'd think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time.
Why, yes, somebody watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance.
Exactly, and that means, Mr. Filch, you're a lying, filching bastard. You were slacking off and you were not watching the foyer as you claim.
Yipes, the backside of the cat. I mean the other way round.
The bag's out of the cat.
Order! But Mr. Justice, isn't Filch stellar work ethic relevant to this case?
It's very relevant because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tematara impersonator in the foyer.
Objection!
What now? Apollo's had enough. He's like, oh my lord. Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. Well, next time, keep your shopping bags away from your cat. Literally, the bags are like the bag was inside the cat. That's a bit distressing to think of. I'm not a mind reader. Ah! Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki?
They were. Yes, they were.
But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't?
My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer.
Taka, I love Taka, even though he just attacked us and didn't let us use a cool mechanic, but you know, it's cute.
You see, the foyer floor and stairway can get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake up the dead, I reckon.
So, you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by?
Yep, my ears were working full time. So who's the liar now, you no good shyster?
He's a good boy. Yes, attacks on command. We love it. There's nothing more good and, you know, holy and angelic and whatever else about that. No, he is cute though. He lets him get away with it. I love it when he sits on the judge's head. That's my favourite. A lying thief calling me a shyster? This has to be the low point of my fledgling career.
Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you didn't miss a thing, and them bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine.
Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Tucker's particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Uh-oh.
Yikes, please don't eat me, Mr. Tucker, sir.
This bird eats people.
The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly. My throat, I need a drink.
Okay. Ugh. How long have I been streaming? Because my voice is going just an hour. Like, goddamn. Voice getting weak in my old age.
It's true, I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV.
Good thing he ignored the compliment about the bags under his eye. I know. I think that's what he was referring to. Oh no, he wasn't. He was like about the lying, but I think he was. You never know. He didn't like specify what he was referring to.
It's true, I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor, they're all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Tenmatara in the foyer.
Foyer. Oh, got another hydrate from ice. You can hear me in my graspy voice. Yeah, the hydrate isn't working. Thank you, but it's not working for me. Like, my voice is still crusty busty. I should have made like a green tea or something, or like with some honey. That might have helped a bit more. But we're gonna pull through, and if that means I'm dead tomorrow, that's fine. Superstition is the. Do you know what the voices are that kill me? It's the judge's voice. The judge's voice, like, really does a number on my throat. Am I gonna keep doing it? Absolutely. Anyway, where was I? Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand? The simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. We must use common sense. For lacking that, our entire world would be upside down. Says the convict prisoner who is totally a sign of the end of times for the legal world.
Besides, if there were any yokai roaming about, I'd nab them and sell them at the zoo.
I wonder whether Jinxie was seeing things.
That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns.
But if we can't prove she saw Tenmatara, the mayor's sure to be convicted.
Then we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs. It sounded like I said babies. BBs. The guns fire babies. Oh my god.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
It's doing his deep, like that rusty deep voice that I'd give to the judge. That kind of fucks my throat. Oh, come on, Apollo. Blackwell's scary, but he's a good person and prosecutor. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that yet. He only knows that he's a murderer. Athena didn't fill him in. He's like, actually, I don't think he did do the crime. Athena's just like, yeah, I know him. Right. It's true, my eyes might have been sticking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. Press that. You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you?
Ain't no harm in bending the truth a little, right?
Listen to me, you little tanuki. Lie again, and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours. Screech.
Yipes! Sorry, just let me keep my tongue.
I got a message. I got a message. Hang on, I got a message. No, I didn't. I lied. No one likes me. At least leave until we get the truth out of him in any case. You were negligent in your duties, were you not?
Yes, sir, I was, sir, but it ain't like that.
Floor, there's all creaky squeaky. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Tenmatara.
Hold it!
Please tell the court, what did Jinxie see if it was not Tenmatara?
She's always going on about seeing this yokai or that. Just an act of imagination, I reckon. She won't even come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of tanuki monster.
Yep. Although, curiously, she's not scared of him, nor seemed to loathe him, so he could take some kind of hint. Oh, it took a second for me to process that. You talk about Athena being scared of it, not being scared of Black Quill. Yeah, maybe, but you know. I guess Apollo is not very intuitive in that sense. So, Mr. Filch, you chalk it up to a child's active imagination. And he is scary. Like, he shout, come on, give Apollo a break. Like, he's got an eagle attacking him, which is the Black Quill's pet, and he's in chains. He's got a scary voice. The way he looks is terrifying. Like, you can't blame the guy for thinking that a convict is kind of scary. Let's see. And he's insulting. It's like,
Yeah, no Temataro or anyone else got in or out Kyobi Manor on my watch.
Apollo, what could this mean? Do you think Jinxie was just seeing things?
well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive. But if we're to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we'll have to uncover Filch's... Oh, shit.
Not uncover Filch's lie?
Right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. Okay. If I pressed the wrong one, maybe... So, you're pretty good ears, Mr. Filch.
As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing to hear a creaky floor. Plus, that Tempatara makes a sound when he goes by, like a jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle? How does he do that?
It's that stuff of his. That's what jingle jangles.
What's he talking about, Apollo?
Beats me, but I guess Tempatara has a staff that makes noise.
Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Tematara holding a staff like an object that made a jangly sound.
I guess that's the source of the noise then.
Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says Tembatara jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information?
Yes, I do. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony. I got hiccups, oh no! Okay, I think they're gone. Oh wait. No, it's gone. I can feel it like trying to come up and I can feel it in my throat trying to escape. Jingle jangle. Yeah, no such thing, mate.
Objection!
Tematara's staff would have made a jangly sound, you say? Well, I'm gonna say that your story doesn't add up.
Says something to the effect would like to share the court.
Mr. Filch, you say that you didn't see Tematara on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Tematara would be holding a staff?
Huh?
Although even after he finds out about his story, Apollo doesn't really seem to like him much. Really? I can't remember that. That is an interesting point. I guess we'll have to... I guess I'll just have to wait until we get to that point before I make an opinion on it, because I don't remember them interacting that much, to be honest. Anyway, you see, the Tematara Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands, and she described its sound just like you did, a kind of jangly sound.
Yeah, so he's holding a staff. What's the point?
Objection!
The point is that Tematara doesn't use a staff. Not normally.
What are you talking about?
You see, this is the only known document depicting Tematara. He called him ridiculous, Spirit Justice. Oh, does he? Apollo, he's so judgy. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch?
You're right, there's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick.
Ah! That wasn't really his voice, so that was bad voice acting on my part.
So the question is, why does the witness think Tembatara uses a staff?
I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. He's like, ugh. Well now, this is getting interesting.
Alright, Mr. Justice. It's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Temataro carries a staff.
Filch is a scatterbrain. The scroll's wrong. He actually saw him. Mr. Filch actually saw Temataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could have possibly known about the staff. Busted again!
Bloody hell, you duplicitous little...
I love that he said bloody hell. Yes! How's that feel, Black Quill?
not so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Temataro that day, didn't you?
Well? I'm begging you, please don't make me say it.
But clearly you did see Temataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact.
No can do, no way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he could be.
He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Temataro. Even though everyone knows he did. I think he's madder that Filch lied than that being proved wrong. Yeah. The question now is why. Yeah, because Blackwell's not really the type to be, like, upset about losing the case. He just... I think he just doesn't like being, like, messed about. Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it, they say you must not gaze upon Temataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Temataro will claim your soul. I don't normally voice the flashbacks because they're kind of annoying. Ginksy wouldn't admit to seeing Temataro after hearing those village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Temataro, he'd claim her soul. He just wants the truth. He's a pretty honest prosecutor, actually. Yeah, he's not as corrupt, really, as the others. A bit like Clavier, but Blackwell's a bit more of a prick. He's a bit more mean. But he does use his psychological tactics, like he was doing, to convince the judge that, you know. So he doesn't use, like, any, like, physically dirty tactics. Like, he doesn't, like make the witnesses give false testimony or try to, like, bribe them or, you know, present false evidence. But he does mess about a little bit with, like, the psychological stuff, but not too much. It's not terrible. It's just a bit dirty tactic. What was I saying? Wait, you think Filch believes that too? So Mr. Big Time Silk City Slicker Lawyer has heard about them. Them old village superstitions.
Would the defense please explain what the fuck he's talking about?
The people of Ninetails Vale believe some pretty strange things. That's a bit judgmental. And their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Temataro.
Darn straight, that's why. It's all right here.
He just does it for his own amusement, not to gain any unfair advantage. Yeah, could argue that, I suppose. Do not gaze upon Temataro, do not tell others if you see him. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one to save it. Your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring up ruin upon the village. A list of the superstitions. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul.
See, that's why us folks in Ninetails Vale can't talk about seeing Temataro.
Oh, my neck. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions, Jesus Christ, while wearing a Temataro costume. They knew that oh my god, they knew that, what? They knew that way, they knew that way, they knew that I'm struggling to say the sentence. They knew that no, what? I'm struggling to say it, I'm so sorry. They knew that, oh my god, what is wrong with me? I think, is this like a weird sentence or am I just being weird? They knew that way, they knew that way, okay, they knew that way, no one could, I don't think it needed to, take your time. Well, I'm struggling over here. It's not even hard, it's just, sometimes when there's two dats next to each other, it's a bit bizarre. I don't think it's needed in this case. You can just say they knew that way, no one could talk about him. But anyway, they knew that way, no one would talk about him. So it was as if he never existed. Thank you for putting up with my little glitch. I was bugging out for a second. The defense holds that this Temataro impersonator is a true killer. Don't you think that sentence was weird, or was it just me? I hope it wasn't just me. Hey, two dats next to each other. Like, especially that sounds weird like that.
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale could no, it looked perfectly fine to me. Okay. It's just me then, but it just bothers me sometimes, like the dat. It's just, yeah, that's the only thing. I was trying to figure out how to phrase it properly. And would that oh my god, and would that using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit? Another weird sentence. It could just be my brain is bugging out. You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
And that.
Common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackquill.
Objection!
Try living in a world of narrow cells, mortal danger and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the Clink, but few are those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the police of... Oh, the police? That's not even in there. The people of Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make even you a believer.
Rah!
I don't know how to do the roars. It's not like... Rah!
Order, I say! You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now your lies have cost me.
Sorry, I promise not to do it again.
Tucker, my fine feathered friend, have at him.
Yikes, he's gonna eat me alive! Head for the heels!
He took off.
Bailiff, what are you waiting for? After him and with your fastest men!
It's certainly not something you see every day.
Damn, I can't believe how badly I was struggling with those sentences.
Well, it would seem a new important fact has come to light. Third party disguised yokai Temitaro was at the scene.
How long have I been streaming? Okay.
And now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill?
Oh.
What? Huh? Ah!
His shackles! Ugh! I'm too young to die!
Justice Dono, long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You had best say your prayers.
See, he also tries to kill him on a regular basis. I don't think Apollo forgives these outbursts. Why is he constantly trying to kill people?
Detective, do something! Ha ha ha! Have no fear, Fulbright is here! When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going!
Objection!
Then get going already before he kills us!
Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackquill, for it is his sense of justice that set him free!
Objection, objection! I object to Detective Fulbright's definition of justice!
The judge is shitting himself, I love it.
Silence!
I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards.
Oh, well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, can I ask you to,
I think the judge forgot he was in charge here.
So, Justice Dono's assertion is this. Temitaro is the real killer, not Mayor Tenma. According to him, it was a yokai at the scene of the crime.
Right, and that yokai, or rather whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman Kyubi.
Silence!
Ah!
Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the fox chamber.
What?
Oh, what? He's right. She said nothing about Tematara being in the fox chamber. What does it matter? He was escaping, no? Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is, upon opening the door, she found a freshly skewered victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. No, there must be someone dressed up like Tema. Ah! Then why does that little scamp claim not to have seen the yokai in the fox chamber?
Considering her father's accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room.
I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tematara inside the fox chamber? Fox chamber? There is but one way to find out. Ask Jimmy Timber whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long as my blade thirsted for blood, at long last it shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice Dono! Ah, bird!
Very well then, both parties, no doubt, need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Ah!
3 minutes.
I'm sorry, but... a 3-minute recess?
Just so, plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo.
The loo? You mean the bathroom?
Sheesh. At least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished.
Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins.
I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of this round of Simon Says.
Doesn't bode well for us if the prosecutor is running the show, does it? 3-minute recess. He's like, 3 minutes. 2 minutes.
He busted out of his shackles.
Yeah, what was all that about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to.
Better be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out You've really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Tematara impersonator at the manor.
What's with that guy in the whole samurai act anyway?
Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice.
Oh god.
It is high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel.
No, wait! Let's save the dueling until after we prove your innocence.
I suppose it would wait till later.
Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm gonna go wash up.
Remember what Blackwell said, Apollo, don't be late.
And 43.
Now then, I believe our next
witness
is Miss Jim C. Timber, the maid at Kyubi Manor.
I'd actually like to see a match between Timber and Blackwell. If Blackwell has his sword, then I feel like he would win. If not, I doubt he would win. I don't know how strong he is, like, without his samurai weapons. I bet he's still pretty strong, but, like, have you seen the mayor? He's, like... well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but you know, for anyone else watching.
I believe we can proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is.
That's a pretty cool animation. Blackwell's a big guy. True, I feel like the mayor's bigger, but you know, like obviously I like Blackwell more than the mayor, but like, try not to be biased. I like this animation though. Like when I played it on the 3DS, I don't remember seeing her reflection in the plate. Like, or maybe it's just more clear this time. Right. What's her voice now? God, I'm gonna struggle to do this. My voice is already breaking. What is that word? Nuraihyun? Yeah, but the mayor only has 2 inches of him.
Yeah. It's not all about height, but I mean, you know, I guess I don't know who would win in the fight then. Personally, I think the mayor, but you know. Right.
Malaikion, leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist.
Wow, that is one well-polished trait.
Witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible.
Eek!
What is it, my child?
Begone, Malaikion, leader of the 100 demons.
Oh, you think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as judicial monstrous. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will.
Eek! My charm is no effect.
The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one.
Now, you little scamp.
Yes?
She's like, I'm a little scamp. How do you know their heights? Does it say it in their profile? No, it doesn't. That's kind of strange. How you know that, Ice? Like, how tall they both are. And let's just talk about other things from the wiki. Okay. Because it didn't even register. I was like, well, how do you know these things? Is it like you looked up their heights? That's pretty devoted to like know so much about the characters.
I trust you know why you're here.
I don't know why I'm here. But bags.
Bags? Oh, that tricksy Tanuki. Try the noodle stand and go enjoy a big bowl of Tanuki and tail noodles while you're at it.
Temra's 6'4" and Blackwell's 6'2". Damn, he didn't strike me as being that tall to Blackwell personally. I thought he'd be like, I don't know, 5'11" or something. Not 6'2". No, not that it matters too much. Everyone's a comedian.
No, I meant your bags. The one under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azukiari away.
Azukiari? Oh, Kiara, I think. The yokai that washes Azuki beans. The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. She wasn't fazed by that.
Azukiari often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore.
Notice how Blackwell was the one person she's not afraid of? I know, it's quite strange. Is that so? Oh, thank you. Well, he was about to, like, kill her dad in front of her, and now he's like, oh, thanks.
Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell got more than he bargained for.
They're bad enough alone, but together those two are just plain creepy.
Your testimony, if you please, Miss Tenma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenmataro when you discovered the crime scene.
Yeah, having the surname Tenma doesn't exactly help them, does it?
Did I see Tenmataro in the fox chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw, yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in that room.
What the? Girl, what the fuck are you talking about? So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime.
Lots and lots of them.
Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenmataro happen to be among them?
I don't know, I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Nurakabe, Satus Taisho, Eek!
I did the eek very well.
They were all there.
Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them.
This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony.
You're...
I think she's not afraid of him because he reminds her of her father because he's also a big scary guy. True. That's a good point.
Your Honor!
Oh shit, what's her voice?
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course.
What a fabulous idea! Please proceed, Miss Sykes.
You sure you know what you're doing, Miss Athena?
She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene.
and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help.
Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed?
It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land.
I'll show you. I had to put up my range bit, and that's a bit too low. A bit higher. There we go. I want her little widget thing. It's so cool. Did I see Tenmataro in the fortunately for her, despite all his threatening insults, Blackwell's a teddy bear. I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I like him, but like he's a bit aggressive. Don't know. Maybe like one of those teddy bears from like that are possessed or something. Well, when I opened the door, I saw. Yes, now I remember. Yokai, right in there in that room. Found something. Looks like an out of control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this is one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa, you mean that little thing can do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? Sorry, my voice battery is kind of going at the moment. She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems sheer terror she's experienced has made her a confused mess. So although yokai, she thinks she saw her a product of rampant emotions. Yes, that's right. Her fear is instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was in fact, she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now let's see. Apollo, oh shit. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing probe. Next point to what's causing Jinxie's out of control emotion. Finally, hit probe again to try and get the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try.
Got it!
Jinxie, what's the name of that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. But it came to steal the Aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits this actual situation. Exactly. It's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. It must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on the Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? This lamp. It's chandelier. The light fixture? This one right here, it has a flame design and it's up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on the Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. Eek! That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now that you've got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? It's Calibre. It's a wall monster that blocks your way out or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. Eek! And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here is nothing more than a fox statue. Eek! I don't know what I was thinking. How many times am I going to say eek? You did it, Apollo! Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. They weren't any yokai after all. See? A clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there was never any yokai in the fox chamber.
Right, there never really was any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. Wait, Jinxie, what about Temotaro?
There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Temotaro, or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now.
You gotta be joking! They're both having a hard time. They're like, oh, God.
Order in court!
I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do.
No! Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run up an update. Wait, what am I supposed to do?
Try to find the emotion that contradicts her statements.
So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out?
That's right, but it's not just contradictory emotions you look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in the emotion's intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare how the same emotion changes throughout the testimony.
Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Okay. So she's very scared and mildly surprised. Then she's extremely surprised when she entered the room. My legs gave way and I fell to the floor, but she's not very scared. There in the fox's chamber I saw the older man's dead body. Maybe this one?
Got it!
The amount of fear you felt is rather low, despite your legs having given out from fright. Does something else lessen your fear?
Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment.
You did? Where did it come from?
Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me.
Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Look! Raven says hi. Who's Raven? Is that one of the chickens?
Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to remember everything now.
Sudden burst of courage. Now where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Oh, ragdoll mix. What animal is that? Ragdoll mix. Is that a... That could be... There's a couple animals that I know that are like a ragdoll. Is that a cat? There's a couple
like breeds of animal that I know that are called ragdolls. I know there's cats, there's like rats. I can't remember if a dog is a ragdoll, but it might be a cat. I'm not sure. Exposing my terrible knowledge right now. Yeah, she's a cat. Okay. I love cats. I've got 2 cats myself. Just regular cats. So one's a not tabby. Yeah, he's a tabby. And then one's like a tortoiseshell cat one. Yeah, like the black cats with like the patches of orange.
Yes, there was, but, I really had done something naughty when I thought about it later.
I realised I'd done something naughty.
Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage?
Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? The flowers? Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a nine-tails flower there at the scene, did you?
The demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tails flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it.
You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene.
That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce said evidence this instant.
She's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Raven is close to 14 pounds and she's grey and white tuxedo. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know if that's heavy or light for a cat. I really don't know. I don't even know how much my cats weigh. I know they're a healthy weight because they've been to the vet and they've been weighed, but I don't know what the weight is. I don't remember it.
Sorry.
There does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something stood out. It appears to be a key.
Might I have a look at your baldness? I love that the bird collects evidence for him. That is huge for a female cat. Oh, okay, she's a big girl. I like big cats. I hope she's, like, healthy, though. Ah! This is none other than the master key to Kyubi Manor.
Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell?
It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. The master key? That went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Yeah, she's just big. Okay, that's cool. I like big cats. My cats are quite skinny. I wish they were bigger. More to cuddle, you know. I know my cats are quite slender. I don't know why. They eat like pigs. Especially the boy, because I got one boy, one girl. Like he eats everything. He eats his food, then he goes and eats the dog food. It's like, oh my god. Her paw is literally as big as 3 of my fingers. That is so cool. I wish I could meet her. My cats are dinky. Dinky little things. A little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the fox chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could have used it before, during, and after the trial. Murder, not trial. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is, until Jinxie Tema opened the fox chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world, and there was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. If she met you, I bet she'd love you, as she's totally a love sponge. Oh, a killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. I can confess something like Ice. When I was younger, I used to not like cats, just like the idea of them. I don't know why I felt that. I think because I had loads of dogs growing up. I had 3 dogs growing up. No, 4 dogs really, like in total. Yeah, I've grown up around 4 dogs. Like, never had a cat growing up, and then like we got a cat when I was like 15, and I just like fell in love with her, and then like cats totally became like my favorite pet, like in terms of like I preferred cats compared to dogs. Like they suited my personality more, because dogs are a bit more outgoing and like they're a lot of work, whereas cats are a bit more, you know, easygoing. You know, they're not in your face 24/7. Like, they're a bit independent. They're not like they don't give me too much. Like, they're not always in my face. You know what I mean? Dogs are quite a lot, which it just depends on your personality, I suppose. Like, dogs are quite for more outgoing people, I suppose, whereas cats are a bit more quiet. But yeah, like immediately after getting a cat, I was like, damn, I wasted my life hating on cats. I never hated them, but like, I always would say I prefer dogs. I still like dogs, but I wouldn't get one if I like had my own place, because they don't suit my personality. You know what I mean? Like, I love the animals that I have. I love all of them, but I wouldn't get a dog just because they're too much work for me. I like cats. They're more calm and relaxed, and dogs are more running around, barking, want to go out, want to do this and that, and I'm like, no, that's too much. Ugh, they're annoying sometimes. No hate to dogs, but you know, a killer other than Mayor Timber himself would be utterly inconceivable. But it goes to show, you know, like I shouldn't have like disregarded cats just because I had dogs.
How could this happen?
The defense's assistants will refrain from growling her frustrations.
Athena, are you alright? Ugh, I know that Tim is innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks.
And I also love chickens. I like chickens as well, you know, they're cute. I don't have any. They're not a common animal in the UK to have as pets. Like, they're on the farm, but they're cute. Like, seeing them waddle around and stuff, they're cute. Sykes Dono, allow me to push you out of your misery.
Can I decline your offer?
Abandon your client and your misplaced faith. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks.
No, I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you right? She fell right into his trap.
Now I suggest you make a mad dash from this courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed.
All right, I'm back in 10.
Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai.
Apollo?
Mr. Justice, I've heard the word objection, but what is it you object to?
Chickens can be pretty friendly if you put the time in with them. I know I've seen like videos of like people like cuddling with their chickens. It just looks adorable. Huh? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. Though I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena. How long have I been streaming? Jesus Christ, a bit of a long one today.
This court is waiting, Mr. Justice. Though, as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty as your legal skills suspect it if this is it.
And your legal... Oh, shit. I read that wrong.
And your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case?
Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine!
Apollo, you do have something more than your cause of steel, don't you?
Not really, but we'll be fine! I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room, because it's all over if I don't.
Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box.
Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy that locked room is too.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument?
You bet I do! The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. They conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Yesterday I was walking to my friend's car because he was taking me to pick up some medicine, and Time literally followed me to the car. Is Time the name one of your chickens? That's so cute. Time to do or die, literally. That's really sweet.
The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room.
You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened?
I'm fine!
Yes, she's my head hen. Oh, the head hen. She's the head mistress hen.
We just need to think up this whole escaping the locked room thing from over the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but...
Yeah, I don't remember this part. I don't remember how he escaped. I think it's the van.
It doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through. And there's a sheer cliff outside.
Oh, didn't he go through the... Maybe he went through the chamber.
As for the air vent, it's up too high, and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's how.
Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best.
We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then, whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox chamber was a compromise.
She's not necessarily cuddly, but she'll run up to me and see what I'm doing. Oh, it's still sweet though, you know, she's like aware of you and wants to be around you.
Your Honor, the defense proposes that the killer escaped through here.
The forbidden chamber room, I have to say.
And just how did this killer escape through there, Mr. Justice? Your reasoning skills seem as questionable as your proposed escape route.
I wish I could escape right now. Shit, I got it wrong.
I'm afraid there's no escaping a penalty for your random guessing.
Can I try that again?
Where did he escape then? Right, so this was locked, the window's too small, and the air duct's too high. So he escaped from the front door. He just walked out.
Take that!
The hallway? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out.
It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Temma came out on the scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox chamber and then lock it without a key? Oh, I should have seen this one coming. Parsley will run and see what I'm doing too, but she's on the cranky side. I like the name of your chickens. Are they all like names of herbs and spices? If you pet her, she might bite you. How painful are chicken bites? Like, I can't imagine them being too painful. I think it's more their claws that are more like painful, isn't it? Okay.
Remember, Apollo, keep it simple.
Simple, right. I can understand if the killer had exited the room with a key, but...
Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly.
I'm fine. I can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... What? The Fox Chamber? What are you talking about? Oh, the door. Not the Fox Chamber. I was getting confused. Okay, not the Forbidden Chamber, sorry. Okay. Locked it from inside, it locked on its own. The perpetrator locked it from outside. I definitely say their nails are more painful, yeah. That's what I've heard anyway. Again, I'm not an expert on chickens, but that's what I heard. Don't know where I heard it from. I think he locked it from the outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, then locked it. Youch! Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of fact.
Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. But the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction.
If only we could explain both. Like, how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from outside.
Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight?
Slipped it in when the door was opened, threw it in from outside, changed the lock. I think he threw it in. Chickens don't have any teeth, so their bites usually don't do any damage. Okay. What if someone threw it into the room from outside? You know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? I didn't do his voice very well. There is a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. Ah!
I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window.
Somewhere other than the window? Could the key have been tossed in through somewhere other than the window? The air duct.
Take that!
The air vent?
Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not.
Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway.
That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber. Then dropped the key in the room through the vent inside the chamber.
Ugh. That's preposterous.
Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly.
Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused.
Don't worry. I'll explain it so even Your Honor can understand.
He's like, what is that supposed to mean?
First, the killer, disguised as Tematara, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then, they fled through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vents in the ceiling there. All that was left to do after that was go back through the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer?
Amazing. Even I could follow that.
It just seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Temataro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and alderman in that room. Hey, it looks like that lawyer's been beaten the jailbird prosecutor. Oh, that was a total turnabout.
But what's it called appears so much more attractive now?
What the fuck? I love the random comments the jury make. They're so ridiculous.
Order, I say.
Now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how a client could be guilty.
Silence.
Valiant effort, Justice Dono, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and that tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the ouch! But that is impossible without being spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. I really like this case, it's so confusing. Even though we already know who the killer is. I think Friday I'll see if I can finish the coop expansions and get the chicks outside. Oh, that sounds so exciting. Little DIY project. Are you building it yourself, or are you getting someone to help you with it? Or are you buying a service? However, there is no sign of Temataru anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for your entrance. There is oh wow, that's pretty cool of you, Ice, to build your own chicken coop. I bet it's difficult and hard work. Save for your entrance. There is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good.
Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera.
Hey, you're right.
Silence.
Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one.
No!
Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window?
What the heck, right?
Ha! I suppose your next proposal was the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai.
If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer.
Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be.
What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly?
Yeah, I don't remember this part where, like, how he escaped. Whoa, I thought I was the one with cords of steel. It's only been difficult so far because I didn't know the difference between regular and self-tapping screws. I don't know the difference either. I've not even heard of self-tapping screws. I missed the line.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Your Honor.
What evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
The newspaper.
Take that!
A tabloid. Take a look at this special edition paper.
Temotaro, flight or fancy, what does this article prove, Mr. Justice?
The photo in the article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in the photo is the killer shortly after they fled out the window.
Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting...
Oh, but I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Temotaro flew away, you know, by some way or another.
Silence!
It is your brain that has flown the coop. The image is not but trick photography or some other form of artist. Okay. Okay, then how about the Temotaro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air? No, there is a rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai our Trixie Tanuki witness never reached the entrance. It went back. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the fox chamber. Regular screws, you have to drill a hole before you screw the screws in, while you can put the self-tapping screws in directly. Oh, okay. How does that work? Like, science is beyond me. I feel like I probably know this because, like, my mum and her boyfriend do like a lot of stuff, like not construction, but like DIY stuff. So, and they use those sorts of like materials. I'm pretty sure I know about them, but my brain's just not braining right now. Means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Timmer or his daughter Jinxie Timmer. However, we know that Mayor Timmer was already unconscious at the time. Oop. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of Temotaro were the work of one individual. I was trying to screw in regular screws directly and having a bad time with it. Oh, right. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Timmer. Ah! No! See, Blackwell isn't all nice, you know. He's like blaming poor Jinxie now for dressing up as a yokai when she's literally shit scared of him.
The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever.
This little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade.
Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window.
Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap?
What do we do now, Apollo?
The case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff, seize her. It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of your word.
Hold it.
Oh, shit. Mayor Tenma? This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? See, I'm not being funny, Ice. He's a bit of a prick. You have to admit, like, he's being really nasty right now.
Timotaro's true identity is...
Now, Mr. Mayor, it would be futile at this point to claim you are the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce.
Confess? The defendant intends to confess?
Wait! I mean, most prosecutors aren't. True. But Clavier is not, right? And Miles gets a bit nicer. Not much, but he does. Apollo, Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no! Don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Mayor Tenma's gonna confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown our way. Our way. Oh shit. Here he goes.
Ha 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 ha! Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time for my return.
Uh-oh. I should watch What I Wish For. This animation is so scary.
Ka 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 ka! Foolish mortals, I am Tembataro, the yokai you seek.
Mayor Tenma?
Silence! I am Tembataro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King.
What the? Demon King?
Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation!
And it is his job to prosecute people whom he suspects to might be evil. It is, but like he didn't need to make that snarky comment at the mayor. He's like, how does it feel that your daughter's gonna get arrested? Like, what the hell? You don't need to be nice to them, but like, come on. You don't need to be an arsehole either.
The witness will, he will explain himself. As you're saying, Tembataro the yokai we've been chasing... Are you saying you're Tembataro the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tembataro, the one whom you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tembataro, you say? Ha! What nonsense.
So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now?
Ha ha ha! His body is now mine!
So you're saying
Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that's the yokai that Jinxie's Tenma and Phineas Filch saw? And the one captured in this newspaper photo, those were all you?
Edgeworth can be quite mean even after he changed. He can. Mostly to Phoenix, not really the... I can't remember, to be honest, I shouldn't really talk, but I like to think that he's not mean.
Your cursed power of these warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form.
Your baldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt?
Well, confession by yokai would be quite unprecedented.
Be that as it may, the defense case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claim the yokai that little Scamstar was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber, but it was the accused all along. Ugh! Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be a real, in a matter of speaking. For the Alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene? That too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tembataro. The pieces have all fallen into place. He's a terrible boss to Gumshoe, and he chewed out Mike Meekins and threatened his salary for no good reason. Yeah, he does abuse his power a little bit, but like, all that matters is that him and Phoenix get together in the next Ace Attorney game. That's all I care about. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? Seems I must spell it out for all of you. Spell it all out for you. Mayor Timmer killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warding charms from the forbidden chamber's door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter, Jinxie Timmer, stumbled on the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Temataro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mare. The newly freed Temataro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Timmer saw was her father possessed by Temataro. Seriously, that is insane. But when we arrived on the scene, the mare was found unconscious. How is that possible if he's supposed to have flown out the foyer window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of Kyubi Manor, Jinxie Timmer, was Temataro? Oh. Ah!
Hold it. Ha 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 ha! That too is easily explained. Flew about for a time did I, but presently tired, I made for the forbidden chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the fox chamber, and I knew no more. It would seem the pieces are still in place.
Is Blackwell up to his tricks again?
I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real live?
So true. The rumor about Mayor Temmer is true. I knew yokai were real. You mean he didn't kill the alderman just so he could release Temataro?
Order!
Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai.
It's Simon Says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming the yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty or boldness.
This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
Mayor Temmer is just pretending to be Temataro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature.
Since both sides have raised valid points, I've no choice but to...
Silence!
This is the dark age of the law, where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning, Justice Dono. Honestly, I feel like I can play more about Edgeworth than I do in my previous boss. Oh, stop complaining about Edgeworth, then. We love Edgeworth in this stream. I don't even know where he was for a second.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence. Then prove it by joining me in the prison. A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. I like him, I would just never work for him. Ah! What's wrong with him? I missed what was happening. What did he say before that? The guilty verdict is all but...
Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that. What in the devil was that? Fulbright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner? Ha 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 ha! It seems you have found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this. I, Simon Blackwell, vow to... Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackwell will remain on his best behavior.
A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we, Detective? Lord Blackwell some tea. You'd rather work for Blackwell?
Well, in that case, this concludes today's deliberations. Thank God, because my voice is gone.
This is such a long stream. What the fuck? Don't know why it got so long today.
The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity.
Ugh! See, my voice just broke.
this opportunity to further their investigations. This court is adjourned.
Thank God for that. Oh my God. There's still more to say. Oh no, okay, thank God. My voice is hurting. Save progress. Thank God for that. Like, I enjoy streaming a lot. I wish my voice wasn't hurting, but goddamn, it's just painful. I enjoy doing it though, but like, I'd rather do it without the pain. But I held on. I held on. I was considering like if this was going on any longer, I was gonna cut stream. I don't want to do that because it kind of ruins the continuity for me, continuity or whatever. Because I like to do episode by episode or like section by section. But yeah, sure he's strict, but he doesn't seem unreasonable. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he might threaten to kill you and attack you with a hawk, but whatever floats your boat, ice, I guess. Lang, though, is probably the best boss in the series. Lang's so cool. I like his design. He's a funny guy. But yeah, thank you so much, Ice, for chatting with me and joining me for the stream. You've been on for the majority of the stream, to be honest. It's quite nice. Always nice to talk to you. And yeah, I'm going to end it here for today. My voice needs a rest. And yeah, I've got to go to bed soon as well. It's 10:30. Well, 20 to 11. He literally took a bullet for one of his employees. He did. I forgot about that. What a nice guy. I mean, he's a bit mean to Edgeworth. Like, he's a bit of a show-off. But he does seem like a good boss though. He respects his men. Like he goes on about them and stuff. Other people though, not so lucky to have to deal with him. But yeah, thank you again, Ice. I'm gonna end the stream here. Let my voice recover, and I'll see you in the next one whenever my voice feels able to do this again. Bye bye.